Day 20, page 622, problem number 1. How much does the mass of a copper object change under these conditions? It doesn't matter what type of material the object is made out of. This is essentially a problem where you just have to think about it and divide a couple numbers. For example, you also need to know basic information that you could look up. The mass of an electron that I'm giving you here, 9.11 times 10 negative 31st kilograms, and the charge of the electron. Bottom line is, when you rub something here, what's happening is some electrons are being transferred to this object, enough to build up a charge of negative 1.0 times 10 to the negative 6th coulombs, because micro is 10 to the negative 6th. So we got to figure out how many electrons that is. Basically, you take the big number, the 1.0 times 10 to the negative 6th coulombs, and you figure out how many of the little guys, the 1.60 times 10 to the negative 19th coulombs, it takes to make that big charge. Even though it looks like a small charge, it's relatively big, the negative 1 microcoulomb charge. You don't need to worry about the negatives here, you're just trying to figure out how many electrons it takes to make that charge. So that will give you the number of electrons. I'll let you do that. Alright, once you have the number of electrons, it'll be some number with no units because the units cancel out there. Now we've got to figure out how many electrons it takes to make, or how much mass that is. So we know how many electrons it is. Well, each electron is 9.11 times 10 to the negative 31st kilograms. So once you figure out how many electrons it is, essentially all you do is multiply by that 9.11 times 10 to the negative 31st to get the total mass involved. Pretty straightforward.